So, I don't really know what to call this video. I debated about calling it why I think Kingdom Hearts is bad, why you shouldn't play Kingdom Hearts, how Kingdom Hearts broke my heart, etc. I just couldn't come up with a title that truly captures what I'm currently feeling towards the series that I've been so invested in since my childhood. But before I begin this video, let me get a few things straight. I am, or at least was, a Kingdom Hearts fan. I have always loved Kingdom Hearts. My relationship with the series began, I think, when I was roughly around 7, maybe I was 6. I was watching my older cousin actually play Kingdom Hearts 1 on his PlayStation. Now, the same year that Birth by Sleep came out, actually, I got my first computer, and I remember one of my very first Google searches was simply, spiky brown hair kid, big yellow shoes. Needless to say, I did not find what I was looking for. It took me days, maybe weeks, to actually discover what I would find to be a series that I would become latched onto and hold close to my heart for the next whole decade. I have followed every release since then, getting and pre-ordering every game, 100%ing more than half of them several times, and more. I cannot tell you how devoted I have been to this series. Secondly, this is purely all my opinions. If you agree or disagree with me, cool, fine. You're all obviously entitled to your own opinion. Whether you dislike the series or you love it, it doesn't really matter to me. This video is purely describing my experience with the Kingdom Hearts series and community as a whole, from start to finish. So do that do that as you will, as you want, or however the saying goes, whatever. Anyways, call me Sammy Sonic fan if you want. This is gonna get a bit rough, if you know what I'm saying.
What will you learn? That your actions have consequences!
With that stuff out of the way, let's begin. For the first several months of 2020, I've been thinking, man, what cool video ideas could I come up with now since I have all these, free time, right? I've had several videos planned and intend on finishing them as well, although they seem to be bigger videos and projects than what I was originally expecting. One of these videos was why you should care about Kingdom Hearts. In this video, I was going to break down the good, the bad, and the confusing within the series, but why I ultimately felt like you, the viewer, should give it a play. I think looking back, I was also making the video to try and convince myself of the same thing. Why I should care about Kingdom Hearts. To begin, we need to discuss the development history behind Kingdom Hearts. The Kingdom Hearts series is no stranger to releasing their games on different platforms. To give you a short little explanation, here's an excerpt from my Kingdom Hearts bundle video. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 includes 2 games and a movie. Kingdom Hearts all-in-one package and 23 movies games released racks off $40. The fact that games with incredibly important details and story elements were found on different consoles with different gameplay mechanics is, and always has been, a very poor development flaw. The direct sequel to Kingdom Hearts 1, which was a 3D action-adventure platformer for the PlayStation 2, was Chain of Memories, a real-time strategy game for the Game Boy Advance. I personally believe that this is where development issues with the series began. Practically, the very beginning. Sure, Kingdom Hearts was really weird. The concept of hearts and darkness was something totally weird, but it resonated well with the 2000s teen angst thing. It was simple within its complexity. The meta-narrative was linear but flashy. It somehow worked. Square decided that they needed to expand upon this, especially in consideration of the secret Another Side, Another Story movie that could be unlocked in Kingdom Hearts 1. So what did they do? Make a game for the GBA. Why? The only reason I could come up with was the one that I found. They just wanted to make a Kingdom Hearts games for mobile, since mobile gaming was becoming Nintendo's primary best-selling point within the market. This was a smart business move. Make a small game for a smaller but popular system to get new fans to play the original one on the PlayStation 2. The Japanese trailer for the GBA Chain of Memories itself even says this trailer features excerpt images from Kingdom Hearts. COM was solely made as a business and marketing ploy, which is fine. It's a video game company, so it's fine. They gotta do what they gotta do, but here's the catch. Not only was Calm made to get Nintendo players to play the original PS2 game, but since Calm acts as a direct sequel to Kingdom Hearts 1, people who wanted to continue the story needed to get a GBA. This wasn't smart. While some fans could surely make the switch to GBA, many fans didn't really have a reason to. Calm was a lower quality game, and at the time it appeared as a spin-off. Oh, and remember that secret movie I mentioned? Yeah, had nothing to do with Chain of Memories. I suppose Square thought the number of fans they would lose that wouldn't make the switch from PS2 to GBA, they would make up for in GBA players who went back to get the PS2 game. Square went back on track with the 2005 release of Kingdom Hearts 2, despite it being the third game in the series, thus enforcing the idea that Chain of Memories is indeed a spin-off. Kingdom Hearts 2 returned to the original form and gameplay of the original game while also taking place a whole year after Chain of Memories. If you play Kingdom Hearts and then Kingdom Hearts 2, you will be lost as to what is going on and why. Kingdom Hearts 2, while adding more canonical rules and gimmicks to the series, still did as great as a job as the first game did, capturing that 2000s teen angst vibe. It was simple within its complexity. The meta-narrative wasn't as linear as the first game, but it was still basic for a JRPG, while also being incredibly more flashier than the first game. Everything the first game failed at, from a gameplay-wise perspective, was fixed here. However, Kingdom Hearts 2 was also the first game to introduce major plot retcons, that being the identity of the antagonist of the series. I'll play an excerpt from my Xehanort video here to show you what I mean.
It gets even more confusing when multiple different events within the reports actually happen to another character, being this guy. Now, this guy, whose name is also Ansem, isn't introduced until Chain of Memories under the alias Diz. I mention this now because as we go back and look at the reports of the first game, it makes no sense that this Ansem would write the reports from his perspective when the events within the reports happened to this Ansem.
Similar to the first game, Kingdom Hearts 2 also had an unlockable secret movie that showcased the quote-unquote true version of the antagonist alongside 3 new Keyblade builders and armors, one of which looked like Roxas, who was introduced at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2. Fans were stoked. Even though we now had 2 secret movies that had no context to one another, they were incredible mini-trailers to see what the future of the series could hold. This, however, was another issue. Nomura began making promises he couldn't really keep. He came up with the idea and executed them without really thinking how they would properly resolve. Both secret movies ended up being climactic moments in 2 other games called Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days and Birth by Sleep for the Nintendo DS and PSP respectively. Days, while on a Nintendo platformer again, retained the same core gameplay as Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, but with a twist concerning how equipment and abilities would function. Story-wise, the game served as a subplot to Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories and tied the knot between Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 2, explaining who Roxas is, where he came from, and the deal with the organization. For the purpose of a spin-off, Days, in my opinion, does it right. Birth by Sleep, on the other hand, while staying on the more powerful Sony consoles, was also unportable with different gameplay mechanics. Birth by Sleep introduced the command deck gameplay mechanic to the series, which would be later used into more Nintendo games. Story-wise, BBS introduces a ton of concepts that Nomura kept hidden away forever, like the deal with the Keyblade armor, and Keyblade vehicle transformations. Since when is there a Keyblade school? BBS also introduced the Keyblade War. The Keyblade War ended up becoming the single sole event that the entirety of the series, except of course the games that came out before BBS, would dance around till the end of time. Unlike Days, BBS's role within the series ultimately just gave us more questions than answers. It was an interesting concept that left a lot of doors opened and closed the wrong ones, in my opinion. I personally see this as a flaw from Nomura. So what comes after Days and BBS? Well, Nomura decided to go out, get drunk, and make another mobile game. This time for phones. But then they ported it to the DS, but this time with Birth by Sleep's command deck, so it didn't matter anyways. Oh, why, you ask? So they could put a Kingdom Hearts game on a mobile Nintendo platform. Oh, sorry. So they could put the original Kingdom Hearts game on a mobile Nintendo platform. The concept of the game was just that. The original Kingdom Hearts on the Nintendo DS. However, that is not what we got. Instead, we got a game that told the story of Pete and Maleficent playing hide-and-go-seek with Jiminy Cricket and Mickey Mouse. But this right here is my all-time favorite scene of Kingdom Hearts ever. So we have the weird porting of Calm, the backtracking of Days, the absolute bullshittery that is BBS and now recoded. What's next? Kingdom Hearts 3, right? Oh my god, it's Kingdom Hearts 3. It's Kingdom Hearts 3, guys. It's Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh. Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance, also known as was yet another Nintendo handheld game, this time for the 3DS. This game was made to help tie in all the confusing pieces from Chain of Memories, Days, BBS, and Recoded all to one little package. Essentially, it was a game that existed to help the player understand the consequences of what happened in the other spin-off games. However, even Dream Drop dropped the ball. The main issue with Dream Drop was that it incorporated not only a very flawed concept of time travel, but also retconned many of the events from the previous games, including Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Many fans just stopped playing the series here, and personally, I cannot blame them for putting up with what they did. A year after Dream Drop Distance, we then got the first of many re-release/collection sets of Kingdom Hearts games. Kingdom Hearts Roman numeral 1 decimal 0.5. This collection of Kingdom Hearts games included Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, Re-Chain of Memories, and cutscenes of Days. It was also released for the PS3 in September of 2013, 2 months before the PS4 released. It gave fans a dumb reason to keep their PS3 instead of just selling it to buy the PS4, but whatever. A year later, in December of 2014, Square releases the second collection set of the Kingdom Hearts series, Kingdom Hearts Roman numeral 2 decimal 0.5. This collection included Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Birth by Sleep Final Mix, and the cutscenes of Recoded. It only took them 12 years, but Square finally got it right. They finally released all the Kingdom Hearts games on a single last-gen console for a total price of $120. 4 games and 2 movies for $120. That was insane. So now we're getting Kingdom Hearts 3, right? 2.8. Okay, so since Dream Drop was the only game not to be ported over to a Sony console yet, Square decided to port it over to the PS4 alongside a tech demo of Kingdom Hearts 3 called Birth by Sleep: A Fragmentary Passage, which followed Aqua after the events of Birth by Sleep, and it had a movie for another game. Wait, another Union Cross? Wait, what? If fans hadn't left already, they were fleeing now more than ever. However, as fans were leaving due to the overabundance of Kingdom Hearts spin-offs and niche games, just as many, if not more, new players were flying in due to all the Kingdom Hearts games being in one place, the PS3. Okay, so they decide to combine 1.5 and 2.5 together for the PS4 since they didn't do that for some stupid reason back in 2013 and 2014. Oh well, those games were $60. So surely this bundle has got to be somewhat expensive, right? Like at least $150. Bro! Okay, whatever. We've got 6 playable Kingdom Hearts games with 3 movies on the PS4 for a total of $110. It's incredibly cheap, but if they keep releasing games like this, we're gonna have a bit of an inflation issue. You know, when you have so much of one thing, the value of that thing goes down, right? Hopefully that's not gonna...
The story so far.
So, yeah. Kingdom Hearts has a really stupid and dumb porting issue. This isn't even the main thing that I was making this video about, but it's still something stupid that Square and Nomura should have had their brain cells to fix it properly ages ago. You're telling me? You're actually telling me that they just couldn't hold off 1.5 for 2 months for a PS4 release. Not buying that game and 2.5 for the PS3 literally would have saved fans $120. That would have saved them $10 more if they took that 120 and spent it towards the 110 that was 1.5 and 2.8, or excuse me, that was 1.5 plus 2.8 and 2.5 with a total price of 110. Sure, realistically, they could have saved only $10, but they wouldn't have spent $230. That's all I'm saying. Aside from this, we haven't even gotten Kingdom Hearts 3 yet. Yay! So, needless to say, the development of Kingdom Hearts games has always been controversial, to say the least. To make matters worse, we then have... If you haven't left the series yet, this would be a perfectly good reason to. This line of Kingdom Hearts games started in 2013 with the browser release of Kingdom Hearts Key. At first, these games were nothing more than just a typical, generic, and semi-bad web browser MMO game. Okay, Kingdom Hearts has had a few of those, alright? This isn't the first one, but I'll be damned if it's the last. The game didn't offer anything to the overall story or arc of Kingdom Hearts until the Unchained Key / Union Key storylines. These were essentially ports of the web browser game for mobile phone devices. These games not only included details of the Keyblade War, which takes place however many years before BBS, and I personally felt like was fine, but included characters from and after BBS's stories, essentially making those characters like a gazillion years old for not a single reason. Furthermore, making a movie based on parts of the events of one of these mobile games for 2.8 made no sense when not only was the story from 2.8 in the web games that you're forcing fans to play, but also not even relevant in the context of the rest of the Chi games or the Darkseeker saga. Whatever, they're done. They're done. They have to be. What else could they make, right? What else could they make? A mobile game? What? About Xehanort and Ericus as kids?
Dwight, you ignorant slut!
I've officially lost it. The development cycles and mindsets behind these games just make no sense. None at all. None of the decisions make any type of coherent sense. The plot of Kingdom Hearts as a whole makes more sense than the reasons why the plot was made.
No. He's got a point.
The only thing I have to look forward to now is a Kingdom Hearts game on Switch.
Hey look, Jake. Kingdom Hearts for Switch.
Oh, for real? Chain of Memories, juking fans. BBS giving us more questions than answers. Recoded literally being conceived while Nomura was drunk. Dream Drop being birthed by sleep and recoded on drugs. 1.5 and 2.5 not initially being on the PS4. A total of 4 releases for 1.5 and 2.5, not including digital bundles or the original copies of their games. The Key games being so stupid convoluted and just as irrelevant as they are relevant. Kingdom Hearts 3 capitalizing off the errors of Dream Drop and the Key games. Melody of Memories. The only thing worse than this could be a Kingdom Hearts game made for the Vcast.
Not yet, for.
While the development cycles and flaws are reason enough to leave the series, there's another thing I want to discuss. I've loved Kingdom Hearts practically all my life. I feel like I've made that evident. Kingdom Hearts is a franchise that has not only made an emotional impact within me for its themes and story elements alone, but has legitimately molded the way that I think and act. As dramatic as it sounds, Kingdom Hearts is literally in my DNA. So around 2013, when the series started seeing a huge rise in talk again with the announcement of Kingdom Hearts 3 and the release of 1.5, I was ecstatic to get into the community. At the time, the Kingdom Hearts community was fine from my perspective. The series had its issues and flaws from both a development and plotline perspective, but it seemed like the community handled it well. Conversations were on the rise, YouTube videos, memes, etc. The series that I loved so deeply was finally getting recognition. I was happy. I watched the Keykeepers become the Keykeepers. I've been there since the beginning, and I saw how it ended. I even paid attention to the smaller KH-tuber groups, like the Nobodies. However, the older I got, the more I realized just how warped the community actually is. Keep in mind, I am a Kingdom Hearts fan myself. But as someone who tries to be as objective as possible, this is what I'm gonna say. Kingdom Hearts fans have a really bad habit of making everything about Kingdom Hearts and hyperbolizing everything from Nomura himself to how many times he sneezes in an interview. There are a few other issues, but these are the main two. By 2015, when my first YouTube channel started growing a tiny bit through Kingdom Hearts content, I became more present in the community. I wasn't really present enough for people to remember my name or anything like that, but I was able to get a few people talking about what I was talking about. And that's ultimately what my content was and always will be for: interaction and discussion. My friend Ali Hassan invited me to a Final Fantasy podcast that Dean Weiss was hosting, and that's truthfully how I got connected to everything else. As I became more interactive with the Kingdom Hearts community in and outside of my circle, I ended up discovering that Nomura was portrayed as a literal god. At first, I thought it was funny. You know, haha, funny developer man made the letter X important, haha. But the community made it so much more than that. I ended up taking a step back, specifically this past year, but really for a while now, and noticed just how unhealthy and how toxic this whole praising of Nomura thing actually is. Like, yeah, memes and jokes are one thing. They're cool, everyone, big laugh. They're funny because something that wasn't seemingly important to one game became important in the other. That's funny, Nomura. You got us. But see, not everyone got the joke. Right. Not everyone got the joke, right? It was funny, but it's not now. That's fine, okay? Listen, some people are just slower than others. But those people who didn't get the joke then took the haha, it's funny, it's actually important and serious mindset to an extreme that it was never intended to go to. We were all supposed to laugh and enjoy having the jester entertain us, not become a group of people who worship him. The issue is that Kingdom Hearts fans take Nomura way too seriously, and because of that, those fans will make fun of or belittle people who don't do the same. It is practically an objective fact that Kingdom Hearts is regarded as one of the most complex and absurd video game series to date. Acting like it's not is almost delusional, just throwing that out there. Now, if you're able to decipher the madness of Nomura, then great, it's not as complex or as absurd to you. Just don't be a dick about it. Nomura's crap stinks just as bad, if not worse, than yours, okay? Listen, the man is almost 60 years old. Not everything he does in Final Fantasy, The World Ends With You, or even Kingdom Hearts will always be the right decision. To the Kingdom Hearts community's defense, though, Nomura has given them a pretty good reason to over-exaggerate any and everything he does. Probably because he's done it since Chain of Memories, and Kingdom Hearts 2. He has, and since we didn't really call him out for his bullshit back then, it's really just too late now. As I pointed out earlier, the anticipation of Kingdom Hearts 3 was something that many fans' lives was revolved around, even mine. Pure speculation about what worlds would be in the game, how they'd finally tie a bow for the Dark Seeker saga. Everyone was ready. But in the end, that's not what we got. We got a game that was 75% Disney filler, and the 25% story-relevant stuff seemed like a cardboard cutout version of what people were wanting and expecting. To be honest, I would have probably been more okay with a Wattpad story than what we actually got. Then, locking even more important story stuff behind a $30 paywall? It's honestly just sad. The 6 years build-up. That's more than half a decade. That's half of someone's whole educational career. That's more time than it is to get a college degree. A game that we waited 6 years for, that was $60 to $80 at launch, a game that literally shaped people's lives, is now $7 at GameStop. And then people have the nerve to tell me that I'm not as much as a fan because I didn't cop the DLC? Really? Really? How shameful. if that's what Kingdom Hearts 3 has done to the community, has done to people, then I personally just would have preferred that the game been cancelled. The game was never worth as much controversy, as much headaches, as idiotic debates and conversations that it spawned. Kingdom Hearts Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 did have a few redeemable qualities. The whole Xigbar bait was good, although it was executed really weird. The fan service that was the final climactic battle was actually really enjoyable. Just whatever. I've already really given my thoughts and stuff about Kingdom Hearts 3. Just go watch my other video on that. But Kingdom Hearts 3 was supposed to end the Darkseeker saga. The mobile games were made to expand on the concept of the Keyblade War, which was Xehanort's motivation for the longest time, until they changed that. Twice. Now the mobile games are not only their own entirely separate thing, but they're also still contributing to the Darkseeker saga that was supposed to end. Kingdom Hearts Dark Road? Really? Another mobile game that, focuses on Xehanort? Where was this idea back in 2013, when the mobile games started? I mean, like, this whole idea of a game that circles around Xehanort was something that fans have been wanting back since Birth by Sleep, as like a legitimate game. You couldn't make that? We got Recoded instead of an actual game of Dark Road. And like one of the main spin-off games that we're getting being Melody of Madness, that's what you're putting on consoles? A rhythm game. You're putting a rhythm game instead of a series of web browser games that apparently are just as important as the main console ones. You're putting a rhythm game on consoles instead of games that literally have the entire focus of the series? It's pathetic. Well, I am actually legitimately finding myself physically sick due to this. My stomach is turning topside. And I think that's because I'm just having to detach and admit the faults of something that I've loved since childhood. Something that's been there with me to create impactful, fun, peaceful, and heartfelt moments is just as impactfully ruining my perspective on it. It's tiring. All of it. Being a Kingdom Hearts fan is tiring. I gave Square and Nomura a lot. I gave them the benefit of the doubt so many times. Buying all 8 combined releases of 1.5 and 2.5 while already having the original 4 copies of the playable games. I just honestly feel betrayed. I do. And even when I try and voice my conflicts with the series to other Kingdom Hearts fans, I'm seen as harsh, negative, or just giving a bad hot take. I'm caught between a rock and a hard place, and frankly, I just don't care about Kingdom Hearts anymore. So, what exactly does this mean? I mean, this is a channel that I've based on Nintendo and Square Enix, with a drastic emphasis on Smash and Kingdom Hearts. With how I feel towards Kingdom Hearts and how Smash keeps constantly changing, what's really left for my channel? Well, I'll still be doing the same old stuff. Get real, folks, it's not that dramatic. I just feel like I needed to get my 2 cents out there about how and why Kingdom Hearts has broken my heart. I'll still review stuff, I'll still buy the games. I'll just be me. As objective as possible, I guess. And if I get criticized for it, then so be it. I want to put my money where my mouth is. I still love several of the games and think that the series should be explored by new and old fans alike. I'm just finding it hard to stay on the bandwagon at this rate. Thanks for watching.